Hey guys, unfortunately you can't even write checks anymore. Let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome again to my channel. This is Emmett the Alpha Builder. Hey guys, go ahead and start off and go ahead and smash that like button so we can increase the algorithm. But guys, I want to talk about something that happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and this is long overdue. But guys, as a builder, especially when you're a custom builder and you just say, you kind of like a one-man show, you don't have a lot of administrative people. Apparently it has become easier for me. I don't know if you guys have seen these right here. This is my checkbook, and I have for each project, I have my own checkbook. I have the color code on these right here too. Depends on what project I'm doing, but for each project, I create a checkbook with it, and I usually put about 150 checks in it, because that's usually what I found out over time. That's how many checks it usually take from the beginning to the end of a project when I'm writing checks out to my subcontractors and suppliers. So these checkbooks have, they have 3 checks in them. So that, they typically have the 3 checks in them. And it's really easy to keep up with things, guys, which is why I use this system. And I have an Excel spreadsheet that I use also. Every time I write a check, I put it on an Excel spreadsheet to make sure that I'm balancing the checkbook as I go. I balance it here, I balance it on my Excel spreadsheet, and I also balance everything on my software, so I can kind of see everything is happening all at the same time in 3 different locations. But writing checks, and so that's why I like to write checks. I like to write checks because I can see what I got. It's easy for me. I can take care of everybody. Now, I'm just not getting into these debit cards. I use the debit card when I'm at Lowe's or Home Depot, and I have to make a note on the receipt, and I bring it back here and I update it on my checkbook as well. But when I'm writing checks out to like suppliers, lumber, concrete, concrete trucks. Well, I'm sorry, not concrete trucks, but the pump trucks that we have. And a lot of the guys that I use, I usually write those guys out checks. Easy for me to document everything. But I found out, so and I didn't really know it. It's good that it was one of my subcontractors actually called me and told me what he did. So I wrote him out a check. And guys, once they get your routing number, this guy, he took my routing number on my check, and also that check number, the routing number and the account number. And he ran that thing through QuickBooks. So he put that in and he ran it, and he pulled the money out of my account. Okay, so it drew the money out of my account automatically. Because guys, if they have your routing number and that account number, and you're gonna see that on your checks, they can go in and take that money out of your account. Now, they're not supposed to do that, because typically in order to draw money out of my account or to do a direct draw like that, you should have an authorization signed by me. But with the QuickBooks, he actually went on ahead and he did it himself. And when they did it, what ended up happening, I think his wife or somebody came in, and they came in and they ran the checks again. I guess she didn't know that he had already drew the money out, but they ran the checks again. When they ran the checks again, it drew out of my account twice. So the check one time and the draft the second time. So it took money out of my account twice. I knew they'd do that. So they took it out twice. So they took it out like I said, guys, they took it out one time with the direct draft, and then they ran the check normally the way they should have ran it. They took it out again. Well, this puts you as a builder, guys, if you're a small builder like myself, it puts you in a very compromising, awkward situation, but guys, because, you know, this check was like $2,000. So if I had other, so if I had other people that, if my account was kind of short, if I didn't have that much money in my account, then what would have happened is that $2,000 could have caused a chain reaction for a whole lot of other guys' checks to bounce, and it would have created a financial a catastrophe on my account, all because someone drew that thing out of there. And then so I called my bank. And this is one reason I called the bank, and I got to figure something else out, guys. I think there's another way, especially being a smaller builder. But I called the bank, and I said, well, how can't you guys stop this kind of stuff? And I was told by the bank that if they got your account number and they have the routing number, there's nothing you can do. I did not know that, guys. There's nothing you can do. They can just take the money out of your account. So we got to be careful. So now I got to come up with another way. And when I get a little time, I got to come up with another way, really probably the best way to do it. And we have some software coming out, guys, by the name, my software, well, not my software, but me and a friend of mine, we're coming together with a software that we're going to put out. And we're really working hard. We should have had this thing out about a year ago. But the perfect way to do it, and I think he can do this, is that when we can go online, we can go on the software and pay it, and it creates the check for us. It creates a check that or if we had my supplier's account number, and I'd rather send them a check, it could go ahead and do it that way. The software can pay the bills. That would probably be the better way to do it. Have it to where every time you go in, say, for instance, I got my lumber. I have a lumber package that I need to pay for, and it goes in and it says, okay, I'm going to pay this right here, and it sends the check straight to my lumber company. That'll be the best way to do it, guys. But, guys, if they got your routing number and your account number, there's nothing you can do. So, guys, be careful on those checks. And, you know, because, like I said, that could have caused a headache for all of my accounting. If somebody if I didn't have the money in there and somebody else wrote another check, and if we didn't have the money in there because they pulled it out twice, oh man, that would have been a mess. Once again, guys, like, share, subscribe, and let me know if you guys have any questions or comments or things of that nature that you want to talk about. You want me to talk about as far as residential new construction. You guys have a good one.